Nick.
Yeah.
What's your topic?
As I'm unlocking my phone. My topic comes from Twitter. Remember, everyone, if you have a nice topic for us or a fun topic or an interesting topic, follow me on Twitter at Nick_Scarpino and tweet me your questions like... Nope, I've been scrolling.
Nope, not this guy.
At its_RJ says, discussion of the day. If your wife told you she did a pornographic film way before she met you, would that affect your relationship? That's my question to you guys. If you found out that your wife or significant other was in a risque video that other people could find on the internet potentially.
She's in the pornography.
She's in the porno.
And is it hardcore or is it like Skinemax?
For the sake of argument, I would say
Hardcore?
it's hardcore. Hard. It's not like fetish or anything like that, but
Okay.
it's enough to let everyone know what's going on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear you.
I feel like undoubtedly it would affect the relationship. That doesn't necessarily
In what
mean
way?
end. It doesn't mean...
In a good way or a bad? Because it could be a
You're
good
married.
way.
You're already married.
Yeah.
I'm just saying for the argument.
Yeah. I think it would affect it, definitely. Like, it's definitely a conversation you need to have, and it's no matter what, I don't think that's a good thing. I don't think anyone's going to be like, yeah, I was hoping for this one, you know?
I think I'd only be disappointed if I because you'd have to watch it, right?
Well, that's the thing. If
Would
you
you
knew it
watch it?
existed, would you watch it?
Yeah.
I feel like I'd have to.
Yeah.
I'd have to.
Yeah.
I'd obsess about it. I'd have to watch it.
And that's the worst part, though, is like this whole...
I'd have
people
to.
refer to this as the
unless it was
X-Files.
with Colin, in which case I would absolutely watch it.
The
You
X-Files
would have
are...
already watched it.
I would have seen it. I would have known about it. I would have tweeted it. Then I would have tweeted. Boom.
Bam.
Colin, my wife.
Making that money. But it's one of those things where people always act like they don't want to know about the history of their partner. But then it's like, you really do. And it's like, even if you don't, there's something that you're just like,
See, here-
you always ask these questions.
This is what I want to rewind to about it. Would it affect the relationship? Of course, anything like this, I think, affects the relationship. But like, I don't care what you are. You clean right now? Are you not going to infect me with anything and screw up our lives?
Well, sure.
Just let me know one day, please. Then I'm fine with it. But like, this is like that step outside of that realm, right? Like, I don't need to know everything you've ever done with another guy or how many guys, blah 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 blah. I don't care about that as long as everything's checking out now. Everything's fine, great. Don't worry about it. But then you get to this, and it would more be. This would be something I would have just wanted to be briefed on.
That's the thing. It's
somebody
trust.
doesn't
I
ever
think
come up and
trust
be
is
like,
the
"Oh,
biggest
man."
part.
And it's crazy. Your daughter, your wife. You said blah blah blah. And I'd be like, what now?
What?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and if you had talked to her beforehand and were like, hey, did you ever get involved in a pornographic video?
I mean, that
and
doesn't
she was
necessarily
like,
come up in a lot of conversations.
well, I know,
But
but
it
like,
seems like
say
with-
it did. Like, say...
Sure.
No, I feel like that does come up. Maybe not that specifically, but it's just
Yeah,
like...
porno.
No, but not that, but it's just
in
like...
my world,
Have
probably
they
comes
ever
up.
taken photos of you? Have they
Exactly.
Ever,
Is there anything? And if they're like, no, there is definitely nothing. And then you later find out there is, that's not good.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I've never asked that question though, but because I guess that's just. I mean,
I'm
I guess this
gonna
is
ask my wife that question when I go home.
this
tonight.
is like that next step out of it all. I don't know, but like, see, like if it turned out that she had posed for a cell phone photos or sent those out to somebody, and then they popped up on the internet again.
in like one of those compilation videos that none of us have ever seen.
They make compilations videos.
Oh yeah.
Oh, come
YouTube?
on.
Not on YouTube. You can't get them on YouTube. YouTube doesn't put that stuff out. There are other sites that host video content on the internet.
Of just photos?
No,
Why don't you
compilations,
just go to
like-
Tumblr. I know
like-
what a compilation is. I
No, but
watch
I'm
Vine
saying
compilations all the
porn
time.
compilations, like compilations of something.
Oh, but I'm
The
talking
compilations.
I'm talking about like
Yeah,
I'm telling
I'm
you.
talking about like selfies and photos you send your girl.
I've seen, yeah, they'll do them. They'll
Okay,
do them
fine.
if it's like
Okay.
but they usually bucket them into some sort
Sure.
of like
We're down the
title,
rabbit
like
hole
marketable.
A category.
That would be such less. I mean, unless I'd asked that question, then I really those wouldn't even offend me either. Oh, we've
Yeah.
all done dumb stuff. You know what I
I
mean?
mean, that's the thing. Exactly. It's just like you can't judge them based on that stuff.
I think you
'cause it's like-
can, and here's why. Have you guys ever seen? I'm gonna come down the rabbit hole with me.
Come on.
I'm gonna come close and come down. In the '90s, there was a movie that was made called Jade. Do you remember this movie at all?
I don't.
It's a movie starring Linda Fiorentino and Chaz Palminteri
Made them up.
about a woman who was married to a guy. Chaz Palminteri is like a district attorney, I think, and finds out that his wife has been masquerading the entire time as like this like
I thought that was going to end differently.
no crazy like exotic sex worker / like dominatrix, right?
Cool.
And he finds this out about her, and it turns out that she, spoilers, kills a guy. The whole thing's a murder mystery. They're trying to figure out whether or not she did it. It's hot off the tails of Basic Instinct. You know, they were trying to get another movie out like that. Didn't really catch. I don't believe. But at the end of the movie, he knows his wife did it, so he covers it up for her.
Oh.
But then he goes at the very last scene, and it's kind of an abusive relationship. She doesn't want to be in it.
Boo.
And so it's a weird psychological thriller kind of thing. But he tells her at the end of it, he's like, "Hey, and the next time we're together in that way, like I want to see Jade," and that was like her moniker when she went out there. The point I'm driving at is if I saw it and it was like outrageously amazing, I would be like, "Hey, what happened? Why did I get
What
so
happened?
Like what happened?
That's her
What-
job. They're not.
Yeah,
you
but
know.
like I don't know. Like can some of that
Bring
transition
sexy
over?
back?
Yeah, you know. I don't know. I'd be a little disappointed that she would like had that showmanship there, but didn't feel the need to bring that into our little happy home.
I think my first reaction would be that I'd be like, "What? And you didn't tell me?" But then I'd eventually come down on just the fact that, well, I never asked, and why do you need to tell me that? Like, you lived a life. You know what I mean? Like,
think
I'd
you-
get there in the end.
I think you'd want to know that. That's up there with I used to do hardcore drugs for a while. I think.
See, I guess, and this is the other thing about this argument is, again, it wouldn't even be so much, "Oh, you did porn, you're gross." It would be so much like, we've been together conceivably X number of years. We're married. We've been married a little bit, maybe even a short bit, but like, we were in a committed relationship. We talked about our lives, and this at no
Just didn't
point
come up.
in your timeline of events was this something you
Yeah.
wanted to bring up to me. Like, why? Like, I understand it's embarrassing, but we tell each other everything.
Yeah,
and maybe I'm just a guy who talks about shitting in a bush in front of his best
Things
friend on
happen.
the internet. So like, everybody just thinks I don't have anything. I don't know.
Yeah.
Or someone who just enrages soccer fans.
We're
around
missing the
world.
essential question.
Fake soccer friends.
The essential question is, what kind of porn is it? And also, the other question is, can we hold people that are in our lives to account for things that we were not there for, that they were not doing to us?
No, I don't think we can. The answer to that is I don't think we can.
No, we
For the
can't.
sake
We
of
can't.
argument, though, let's say
We said it
it's
was super
run of the mill,
Like
hardcore,
hardcore
but not like crazy, the kind of stuff that
just
you type in
one-
like
Well,
5
here's
words.
the thing.
Yeah.
Is it a porn or is it a sex tape?
That his tweet does not.
It's a porn. It's a
Describe
producer.
that.
Because again, when you
I'm
get-
saying it's
it's a-
a,
What if
I
it's a
needed
sex tape?
I needed money. I
No.
wanted to do this thing. It's a I got paid to do this job.
Is it a sex tape?
No,
Nothing?
No,
Sex tapes a
Was that-
step down from.
Yeah, I think-
in terms
I think
of
it's
like
even-
offenses. Like I was saying, right? Like a
Everyone
selfie
does that shit.
photo, yeah, whatever. Sex tape.
No,
you know,
see-
sex tapes on. You know,
To me, sex tape is completely in a different category. Like if my wife and or significant other were to come to me and say, "Hey, this is out there, it's floating around," I'd be like, I mean, good for you. You did it. You knew what the ramifications would be, but that probably built into the sort of hotness of it in the moment. It's different than saying like, I have an agent. My agent
Yeah,
called me,
yeah,
and
yeah.
now I'm going to go to this shoot. I've never met this guy
See,
before, and
Got it.
we're
Nick
gonna get
nails
down.
it because again, this is I'm talking about the timeline
Nick
of your
nails
life.
it.
Nick's wife nailed it.
At
Not your
some-
real wife. Your hypothetical wife.
Yeah. Well,
At some time in
you
the
know, I haven't
timeline,
asked her this
right?
question. I'm going to go home tonight and see what she says.
At some point in the timeline,
Have you done porno?
at some point in the timeline, if you're a professional pornography star, actress, whatever, that I think-
Starlet.
Starlet, thank you.
Yes.
That comes up in conversation, I think. Otherwise, you're covering up, I would imagine, years of your life, a year or more, or what you did for, you know, and you're talking about your life and what we've done. A sex tape? No way. Because that goes back to the whole photos of somebody. Somebody takes photos of you while you guys are
that's-
having
that's
sex. It's the
every
same
day.
deal.
That's everyday kind of
every day.
stuff.
Like that's the problem. You can't really lament on that because guess what? Chances are, if you get married like 5-10 years from now, they all have sex tapes out there. Someone at some point has probably filmed them.
I mean, I
doing
think the big
something.
difference there is the internet, though.
Like
It's
how I looked at my
back
watch
in the day,
for the annual calendar. Like 10 years from now.
5 years from now.
Look at this.
like back in the day, sex tapes and porn were different things. It was just like I'm literally the only person that can see the sex tape. But nowadays, it's like if you go to a porn website, which now are just not like before there was a lot of them. Now it's YouTube. Like you just fucking upload something.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And it's just like it's the sex tapes are right next to the porn, and it's almost like
Yeah, but then
Wait,
they do
there's-
the thing where they're like, it's a sex tape, and you're like,
no,
and
but
you
then
click
there's
on it
just
and you look at it and it's lit and it's a porn star and you're like, that's not a.
Well, it's like Bang Bus,
It's a
which is
sex
different.
tape.
Are
but-
sex tapes allowed on YouTube? There's no
No,
nudity
no,
on YouTube.
no,
right?
no
You
nudity
said
on
YouTube.
YouTube.
Or did you say Red
no
Tube?
the YouTube style.
It's like YouTube.
Sorry,
There's like a
thank you,
million of
Thank
them
you. I'll be
now.
quiet now.
Channels, people having
Now,
profiles.
let me boil it down
Really?
even further to its essence. This all comes back to, I think, a really important point in relationships, which is don't ask questions you don't want the answers to.
Mm-hmm.
And this was a conversation I've had with women in the past where it's like, you know, like I am not a jealous person at all. Like there was a time when I was younger when I was. And you learn lessons from that because it's like you kind of obsess over this stupid shit and like what are they doing and who are they with and it's like who fucking cares? Like if the woman or the man you're with is like to be trusted and you want to be with them and you care about them, just let them go and
Right.
let them do their thing because if they're cheating on you or doing messed up things to you, then they're not for you anyway. So these kinds of things answer the questions for you. But I never asked the questions, even with, I've never really gotten into it with my girlfriend now I've been with for years, and I assume I'm going to marry, where it's like, how many guys have you been with? And like all this stuff. It's like, I don't want to fucking know. I don't care. It's your business.
Yeah.
And like, if that's something you feel you need to tell me, that's fine. But like, I'm not gonna offer up that stuff to you just out of nowhere. If you want to ask, like I'm gonna tell you the answer.
See, I mean, that's the other side of that, though. Is like I agree with you. Where it's like you should not ask those questions. You're just gonna get hurt. Having said that, it's really hard not to ask those questions for a lot of people.
Yeah, but as
For
you get
24,
exactly.
You're 24
There you
and a
go.
young gun.
as
Exactly.
you get older, it doesn't matter anymore.
But so
Truth
that's
be
the thing,
told.
though. It's like if you do ask the questions, you better be honest about the answers. Like, I think that's the more important.
So like for me, and this is not for everyone, but like as you get older and as you have a lot of these not porno, but as you get older and you have experiences that help shape who you are, for the rest of your life, you sort of just assume everyone else has those. Like for me, it's never been a question. I don't care how many men my wife's been with beforehand. I hope they were all good experiences for her, and I hope she had as many as she thought she needed before she got to me, because she certainly
had the time of your life. Nick looking out a window with the Green Day song playing behind him,
with naked dudes that your wife slept with.
This guy with the camera. I'm like, no, get the camera out of there. It's not closer. Yeah, all that stuff seems so much more exaggerated when you're younger, right? When you're like 16 and this is the first girl you've ever like had an intimate contact with, and you're like, I want to just own this, and like
I want to own this.
You know what I mean? Like, this is mine. This I don't ever want anyone else to experience this because it's so amazing. And then after a while you lose the connection to the physical connection, so to speak, and it's more about just the companionship and making sure each other's needs are met and making sure that basically everyone's happy, and it doesn't really matter what came before. At least it shouldn't, in my opinion. I don't think it shouldn't matter unless there was something that needs to be dealt with, like
I wouldn't
a
be
disease
upset.
or a
something
baby
like
or something,
right? Where it's like, oh, by the
be-
way, I have a kid, and you're like,
My summation of this rambling thing I've been trying to put together is I'm not offended that you did pornography. It's weird that you didn't tell me. We had this.
I'm sorry.
I love that you just looked at me straight
The whole
in the
time,
eye
eye
as you said I love
right
it.
there. Well, I feel like you're the one I'm trying. It's your topic. So I'm
How
trying
many
to
people
explain
do you
it to
think are
It's
going to
not your
type
topic.
Tim Gettys?
Sounds like a Tim topic,
It sounds
though.
like a Tim topic.
Yeah.
It is.
Sorry.
That's okay.
It's not that I care that you
Your
did
hands
porno.
are so warm.
I'm really hot. I was just wondering
Accepting.
why when we were breaking down, like, oh yeah, and then I worked at the newspaper for a year and a half, and then I came to IGN, like, hey Greg, why didn't you mention that porno you did for a year and a half in the middle of it all?
God.
Yeah, it's weird. To me, it's just
One
like
movie.
I just try to keep it all in the context of like maybe it's from past experiences where like you just get too caught up. It's codependent. It's all these things that you don't want to be. And to me, it's just like it comes with experience. It really does.
It does.
To just be like, I don't care.
What?
It's not even that I don't want to know. It's like I don't care.
I don't care.
Yeah, I'm just like
Legitimately
whatever.
don't care.
Like if you care about my shit, that's cool. I'm not gonna offer up that information for you unless you really want to know. If you really want to know, I'm gonna really tell you. And then you're not really gonna want to know.
I like how sometimes when you make the point, you squint up and you kind of look like Robert De Niro.
Yeah.
You got that Robert De Niro.
Is that an
squint up?
anti-Italian thing?
You
Anti-Italian?
Yeah.
I think it's very pro-Italian. I wish I did that.
It's
I
just
wish
Italian.
I
It's
would
not
like
anti or pro. It's just Italian.
It's just an Italian. So anyway, that's where I stand on it. It's just like there's a place for honesty. I guess the answer to the specific question, Tim, is no. It wouldn't matter.
Again, not my topic. Just sounds like
Yeah,
my
but everyone
topic.
just assumes that if it's about having sex
Oh,
with a
wait.
Disney princess, it's your
Tim,
topic.
that was your topic?
That was Nick's
That was
topic.
my
Oh, I'm
topic.
sorry.
No,
That
it's
sounds
cool.
like Tim.
Totally
That
sounds like a Tim
Tim.
topic.
And then what was your summation of it all?
My summation of it all is just hold on. Let me think back to the original question, which was yeah. I mean, it would affect it. I think as much as I want to say it wouldn't, it definitely would. I think it would just be more of a
Could you get
let's
beyond
talk
it?
about it. Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
100,000%.
Yeah, I think I'm with Colin. I don't think it would matter to me one way or the other. I would wonder why during that like disclosure period where you're thinking about marrying one another,
That didn't come up.
come up.
I mean, see,
What are
my
you
thing is,
doing?
knowing me, I would have asked about it, and
See, I would
given
never-
the
but that's
story,
the thing,
she
I
would have said
wouldn't-
she
I
would
wouldn't
have told
think
me it
to
didn't
ask.
happen.
I wouldn't think to ask because you can't like, and then like you can't use the argument, well, you didn't ask, because it's like who would ask if you've ever done a porn?
But that's the thing. I would never ask that, but I would ask like, is there anything of a sexual variety that I should know about? You know,
You
And it's
would
like-
ask that?
That could mean anything.
I'd ask something of that.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
to some people, like that's the thing. Like, there's a bunch of people going around right now, Snapchatting each other's
Yes.
genitalia all over the place, and like those pictures are out there, but people don't care. it doesn't seem to be bothering anyone. So
That's
like,
the other thing, too.
5 years from now, someone's gonna be
Exactly.
like, "Did you send any, you know,
Oh, yeah, all the time.
penis pictures to other people?" You'd be like, "Yeah, didn't you?" Like, isn't that gonna be
Penis
the response?
pictures.
I was gonna say dick
He's old.
pics.
I know you're gonna say dick pics, and I like that you did it. You just said penis.
I tried to make
Pics
it-
or penis
In
pictures.
10
Hey,
years,
dude.
yeah, it'll be a different landscape where
The
this will be
yeah.
an antiquated conversation.
See, I don't
Yeah.
even know if it's 10 years. Like, I feel like we're in that now.
I think it's
Where
now.
everyone's just sending, like, it's,
I mean,
there's so much of this, and it's like, I think that now it's less of a bad thing that, like, you're doing something that you shouldn't be doing, and it's just more like, I don't think it's that crazy to be like, hey, is there stuff out there I should know about? Because there's definitely stuff out there. And it's
I mean,
like,
I think that's the part.
what's the extent of it?
That's the
is
thing.
really the question.
Okay.
Yeah, and how much is it going to come back to damage anything that we
Exactly.
built
It's just
together?
like, it's like the way I see it with this modern internet. It's like, I would want to know what's out there in
You want
order
to take
to.
that one? Or you want me to take it? Go
This
for it.
modern internet. I just like that.
Greg has to every time you say
Instead of the old-timey 1920s internet.
No, it's totally different, though.
Yeah, it's true. It's very true. No, I mean,
Like, the internet's so
it's
different than
faster
it used
and
to be.
seemingly more vast now,
And
right?
it's just
so much
so
out
easy.
there.
So I want to know what's out there because that reflects on her, that reflects on me. Like, all this is just like, I want to at least know that.
But see, I'm of the mind that, like, I don't know. I mean, you asked me 10 years ago, if something like that leaked, would that, like, destroy someone? And I would have said absolutely. But then you see these women who have become empires because of their sex tapes, right?
Yeah, but
like,
that's
let's not forget,
different, though.
Kim Kardashian was nothing.
She wasn't
nothing.
She wasn't nothing.
She was a
She was in
friend
prime
of-
position to become something.
She was
from
a friend
that.
of Paris Hilton.
Great.
She was a Hollywood socialite, quote unquote, whatever that's worth, whatever that means. She does a sex tape. By all means, should have ruined her reputation around town, and she becomes 5 years, 6 years, 7 years later a mega empire. Like, I just don't think. I think people are just interested in whatever is sort of risque now. They like it's always been that way, right? Like everyone's lives. I mean, we just find risque topics or polarizing topics fascinating. We're just drawn to them, and whether they're good or not, actually some of them that are terrible are even better because then we have more to talk about, right? In our lives, like water cooler chat, and that's all Kim Kardashian is. She's built a freaking $1 million empire, multi-million-dollar empire on it.
More power to her.
I guess.